Hello, air signs. This is going to be your elemental air reading for March 2022. This is a general reading. It will cover the signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. In order to gain any insight into your own personal situation does require a personal reading. You can come at the end of this video and click. My fingers are dirty because I've been in my greenhouse. You can click the little eye that's going to show up over there. And that will take you directly over to the website if you'd like to purchase. Do look for tarot consultations on the main menu. I'm all like elated because I just went out to my greenhouse and my crocosmia are starting to shoot up in the pots, and so I'm just so thrilled by that. But anyway, I have with me the Radiant White deck. I have with me the La Vida Sibila for clarification should we need. And because I was using the Sibila's Oraculum for the individual readings over on the website, they've been performing beautifully. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to wrap the reading up with a Sibila's Oraculum. I have already, as I said, done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and the air glyph. And so we're going to I'm going to shuffle and rifle again, and then we'll lay the cards, okay? I hope everyone is well. I don't know if you guys can tell, I am so super happy about, I've been doing a lot of plant propagation. I started at the end of January, and things are coming along quite well, and I'm so pleased. My neighbor says, she goes, oh my God, you can grow anything. You know, I'm not good at growing stuff, but I am good at plant propagation. I just absolutely love that. Making more plants, you know, making free plants from plants that I've already purchased. So this is wonderful. All right, here we go. Right in the center, we have the Seven of Swords. So this is the issue, the core issue, okay? What is the foundation of this issue? Oh, well, it is the Nine of Pentacles. Isn't that interesting? What is the energy of the near or distant past? Oh, it is... I'm laughing because the numbers are 7, 8, and 9. This is the Strength card. There we go. And all this yellow. Okay. What is the energy of the unknown factor perhaps coming in March? Well, it is the Ten of Swords. Okay. And what is the energy of, still, that's remarkable. It's 7, 8, 9, and 10. And so what is the energy of the near or distant future that is coming up, or perhaps will be coming up? Would you look at that? It is the Fool card. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So 2 swords, a coin, and 2 major arcanas. All of this yellow here. So this is the realm of yellow speaks to mental clarity. It speaks to abundance. So like sunshine and light. It represents the mental plane. So this is a lot of mental energy. I would still say that is true because of the 2 swords here. I only have 5 cards, and 2 of those cards are swords cards. So what is over the entire reading? Well, it is the 9 of Swords. So, my. So right in the center I have the 7. And 7s always represent a moment of questioning yourself, of perhaps self-doubt, of wondering why things aren't going the way that they should, or what should I be doing for my next step. Now, the 7 of Swords typically is traditionally interpreted as the card of lies and deception, thievery, fraud, shenanigans, that kind of a thing. I will tell you that there are 2 other interpretations that I found during my studies. One of them is a house move. though I never see that. And the other one is this idea that you are not mentally focused, right? It's like you're running around. We have a saying here in America, with like a chicken with your head cut off. And so if anything has gone awry or gone wrong, it is because you haven't been able to focus or concentrate. Which I find to be kind of funny, because right here at the bottom we have the what I call the lady who's got her act together. Okay, that's how I always look at the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles, first it's a 9. And 9s are nearing completion. There's typically one more thing you may have to do, right? But she got to this 9 of Pentacles because she was able to, quote unquote, tame her wild side or her wild instincts and just kind of buckle down and do what needed to be done. And by her doing that, she's been able to accrue or gain these 9 pentacles here. See them? She is standing in her garden. She has grapes at her back, and grapes were really a sign of wealth back in the old days. People couldn't, that's how they made wine, and it, only certain people were allowed to make wine or grow grapes. Grapes take a long time to grow, to produce. They require the right soil, the right type of water, the right type of air, the right conditions. She's standing in her garden with her grapes, with her finest robe on, okay? So there's also this snail here at her feet. And sometimes for me, ever since I started reading cards, this snail always represents this idea of perhaps a change of address, some kind of move, okay? Along comes the Strength card, and this is the energy of perhaps the near or distant past. It is an 8. 8s are usually positive numbers in a reading, because what they say is that if there's been any stagnation or things have been slow to develop, they are now about to move. The Strength card, I get the sense that for some of you, you have been going back and forth over something. That lemonascape there over her head, the infinity symbol, okay? I don't know if this is a decision, going back and forth over a decision, or going back and forth over something. Not necessarily circular, like you've been going around in circles, but just this back and forth energy. The Strength card comes along to say that whatever your fears are, you need to face them. Okay, and how do you face them? You face them by being kind and gentle, particularly with yourself. It doesn't require you to be violent or rude or, out of control. You simply face your fears, tackle it, grab it by the head. You don't even have to kind of wrestle it to the ground. You can just pry its mouth open, okay, and look down into the throat of the beast. But that is the past energy. What is coming in, the unknown factor for this month, is this 10 of Swords. Now, even again, we're talking about moving here. Sometimes this 10 of Swords can be travel over or by water, maybe even around water or near water. It is a 10. And this 10 tells me that it is the very end. Whatever this situation represents for you, the crisis point has been reached and it will now change. We actually see it here. A new beginning starting, okay? A new journey. So we've got these 3, maybe 3, 4 cards here that are speaking about travel, going someplace. It is a Uranian card. It is about liberation. It is about freedom. It is about shocks to the system, electrifying events, being supercharged with new energy. So the question becomes, now there's a 3 of Swords here that's missing. There's this implied 3 of Swords, okay? From the 10 to the 7. So there's 3 swords missing here. So what this tells me is the overall energy, something has, I don't know, either been a disappointment to you. Something has Maybe you're having an attack of conscience here with this Nine of Swords. Maybe you are really, really worried about something. This could be the idea that maybe you don't have the ability to relax, and you are perhaps fearful of the future, right? That's what this Nine of Swords can represent, but that's a mental energy, okay? And from this 10 to the 9 leaves me an ace. And the Ace of Swords, when it presents itself in a reading, even implied, is a guarantee that conditions will be changing. The way that you think will be changing. The communications will be changing. The ideas will be changing. But the Ace of Swords can also be the excessive degree of everything. Maybe you're just overly worried about something, you know, and you're not giving yourself enough credit and enough time to kind of work your way through this. Now, I don't have any, court cards here. What I have are things that are happening in the mental realm and also on a third dimensional level. Okay, so this may not just be about finances for you. It's about what you've done up to this point. Okay, and perhaps this this Strength card is coming from the past, and we're moving the energy around, is saying that whatever this one thing is you still need to do, or you're going to have to do, face whatever that is and then do it. Now, for some of you, I feel that this is something I don't get often with this Ten of Swords, this idea that maybe you're just tired. I've been keeping it up for so long. I'm drained. I don't have anything left, right? And so this too could be this idea of feeling low. Now, I have seen this card show up when it says there's a legal issue that may loom large, in which case, it may not go in your favor. But even if it doesn't go in your favor, that's going to free you up. Once it's all over, it frees you up to start something new. And this again could be why the Strength card is coming out, to ask you to face up to your fear. Maybe the fear is, I'm not going to get whatever it is I want. Maybe somebody's going to stab me in the back, and they did it because they were lying to me. Those things still hold true. But it could also be this idea that, maybe you've been putting on, quote unquote, a brave face, but mentally you've been running around in your head and not being able to focus on anything. Okay? So we're going to take a look at what these three cards can mean, if anything, near these two cards. Now, I will tell you that because I placed this card last in the spread, this is at the end of the reading, and there is a meaning all by itself that the Fool card has when it's at the end of a reading. When it comes at the end of a reading, it tells you that you are at the beginning of your journey. A new journey. Hold on, wrong book. Let's see, where is it? Here we go. So, yes. At the end of a reading signifies that you are at the very beginning of your journey. Circumstances will come about that will force a change in direction. And I think that's interesting because we see both of these figures traveling this way. Even she herself is faced towards the past. So this could be about something coming back from the future, coming from the past into the future that you're going to have to turn around and go back and deal with. Okay, that nodal energy, north node, south node, the past meeting the present and clashing in the center. Okay, so I just need to take a look and see what, if anything, these cards can mean. Now, if this is some type of financial or legal issue, I dare say that there is probably a warning here for you with this Seven of and the Fool card. Okay? Because sometimes this Strength card can come off as being arrogant. It's a Leo card. Me. Okay? And you want to be careful of that energy, because here is the meaning of the Seven of Swords with the Fool card. It is an indication that you are currently acting too flippantly and inconsistently. And there may be a need to be more positive and stable, because if not, this is what's going to happen to you. And this literally could be, like I said, you may end up making a grave mistake, right? Or somebody can take advantage of you and double cross you. But again, even if that does happen, you get a chance to start all over again, okay? Sometimes these things happen, right? So this card says it may be an indication that dealings are not straightforward and direct and can be dishonest. So it brings a message to be particularly aware of all proceedings and to remain cautious. It can suggest that your plans are not working out. And if they are not working out, do not look to place blame on others, but rather look to yourself for the reasons for failure. Because most likely, the reason of failure is because of hasty actions and a lack of focus and concentration. All right? There's a possibility of tension, arguments, and disagreements and misunderstandings. It could also be that someone may be spying or delving into things that are none of their business. All right? It warns you to be upfront and honest in your own dealings, because if not, you will get caught out and the results will not be in your favor. That nodal thing, that karmic payback thing. So you do want to be careful with that particular energy. Let's take a look at this Ten of Swords. Nothing about the Ten of Swords here with either of these cards. Now, it is important, here's a message, but it is important for you to stay strong, as the Ten of Swords represents the end of a negative situation and the beginning of change. And so the month can start off for you going pretty good, but perhaps by the end of the month, so watch your energy, watch your thoughts, check yourself before you wreck yourself, okay, with your attitude, if your attitude has become overbearing, right? You're trying to make people do things. You got your whip out, your gun out, okay, and your chair, and you're trying to beat them into, submission. That's not going to work. I promise you, it won't work. This is, I think, a time when you really should, let's say, take a step back and center yourself, okay? Now, it also says you are to take the 10, same message as this one somewhat. Take the utmost caution when undertaking any new venture at this time, particularly if you will be dealing with people who do not know you, who you do not know well or at all. This can lead to feelings of distrust and suspicion, and these feelings within you may be warranted. So look closely at all avenues and from all angles, and only proceed if you feel it is the right thing for you to do. I kind of get the sense that some of you are kind of being pressured and you're about to give in. You're just like, I just want it to be over. Okay, well, that may be so, but you may be giving up in a manner which may end up being detrimental to yourself. Okay? So do watch that energy. The Nine of Pentacles. Tells me nothing. And this card is always just kind of... wait a minute. I'm looking at the 8. Let me look at the 9. Three tens. With any 10 numbered card, it is an indication of travel, journeys, short trips, and vacations. Now, I do have 2 9s kind of hovering over this, okay? And 2 9s can always mean you either need to spend some time by yourself, or it is, again, an indication of a change of address or a move. And so if this is some kind of trip or journey or vacation, I do ask that you are careful, okay, if you are out and about traveling, because it could be some shenanigans, some fraud, some deception. Maybe even this sometimes can be an ambush situation. So, don't walk around looking like a damn tourist. Looking up at the sky with your camera, pointing out things, oohing and on. Be aware of your surroundings. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. Don't be out just looking, gawking like a tourist, okay? And so that's what I have for you. I'm going to take a look. I want to take a look at this particular, because we're coming up on the summer season. Spring is going to be here, and this usually represents the summertime. And so, going on vacation, COVID numbers are dropping. There's mask mandates are dropping all over the place. The weather's going to be getting better soon. We're going to be wanting to go places and do things. And so, don't walk around looking like a tourist. Observe your surroundings. This is the thing that's coming to me now. Remember I said it's like you've been going back and forth with it, not circular, but just back and forth. And I think this is this idea that, you worked hard and you've done a lot, and so now you want to kind of relax and take a break and take a vacation. You can do that. Okay. Again, I'm so tired. I don't know what to do. I'm scattered and I need to take a break. Okay. But that type of distraction could end up causing you some problems in the future. So beware of that. I'm going to read to you the reverse strength card as well. That keeps coming up. And the reason why I'm bringing that up is because it's this energy going back this way. Ten of Swords. There he is. The Il Nemico. So there is definitely somebody who is, let's put it this way, plotting against you or trying to figure out a way to ensnare you or trap you. This could even be some kind of thing where you're signing. Remember that move that I'm talking about, or that trip? You got to sign on the line to take the package or the travel package, or sign on the line to buy the house. Be careful. And typically when this card shows up, if you recognize this situation, the first person who comes to mind that is a male, this is if you have your suspicions, this card says that yes, you are right. I love that about the Sibilas. The stanza. This is the meeting. And there is the letterato. And in this case, he is showing up like this. I want you to look. There he is. He's waiting in the room. He's waiting. He's sitting across on the other side of the room, but he's waiting. Okay? Now, sometimes this card can be about people who know secrets about each other, who know things about each other. They've told each other secrets. They know secrets. And so the presence of this guy, with this guy reversed, this is a definite warning. And so I'm glad I can bring this message to you. And I don't know why I think you already have some inkling about this. This is the worry. I think you have said perhaps too much or given someone quote unquote ammunition. Here we go. And he is the Knight of Swords, this Il Nemico. It is a known enemy. Someone who you already don't like and who you suspect may be plotting against you. And typically, when that card shows up, this confirms your suspicions. He has an open dislike for you, whose ambition clashes with your, and desires clashes with yours. And he's waiting for you to be at your most vulnerable before striking. So I said, like, you're kind of tired. They kind of come in, sneak in when you're at your low point. But this enemy can be someone seemingly nice. Yet they do not inspire trust. Sometimes this card is about trust your intuition. as is this one. Okay. It says the person does not inspire trust and gives you a bad feeling each time you are in the person's company. So this card, the Il Nemico, warns you that you should trust your gut feeling about this person or situation and keep them at arm's length. This has to do with either some kind of meeting that either you will be having or you've had already, or, you know, depends on where you are in this situation. But you please be careful. Now, in love, this can indicate a rival, someone who does not want you to be with your current partner. Or it can be a vindictive ex-boyfriend or ex-husband. Financially, it indicates snares, tricks, and the dangers of signing documents we do not fully understand, and businessmen who should not be trusted. Okay? Professionally, it is someone who always works against you. This card, the Il Nemico, is a harbinger of unpleasant events, scandals, gossip, pettiness, threats, blackmail, and something or someone who can become dangerous. Like a snake, it indicates they have a forked tongue and they are a spreader of lies and malicious gossip. Okay? Now, the stanza card is the... I don't know if some of you are trying to move or take a trip or a little bit of both. That is the Ace of Diamonds. And contrary to popular belief, in the old way of reading cards with just the regular playing cards, diamonds were considered the most unlucky suit. Okay, so the Room. It first has a meaning of being connected to your heart and telling someone a secret. It can be speaking about friendships, two people who know each other very well. The second meaning can represent intimacy and sex, but I don't see this as maybe an affair. So what this is, it is a very important meeting of a sensitive nature and something that you are emotionally invested in. So this could be a job interview, a consultation, anything. Okay? It is a different kind of room, the stanza. So it can represent an office, a study, a surgery, which is what the British people call the doctor's office, or even a political meeting. Okay? Or a professional person such as a solicitor, barrister, notary, or architect. It is a very dynamic card, the stanza. And it indicates that situations are rapidly evolving and that it will soon bring a different set of events. So in this regard, it foretells of upcoming news, developments, and even possible visitors. So if you have been waiting for a response and or for news or even a package to arrive, the stanza card says it is arriving. It will be arriving. This is very swift, this Ten of Swords. Okay? It jumps from the 7 to the 10. So this is it's done very swiftly. Here we have the letterato. You might be able to get the upper hand on this person. So reversed. Someone not to be trusted because they have an ulterior motive. They are cold-blooded without scruples and will do anything to get what they want. They can plot elaborate revenge down to the tiniest detail and wait years until the time is right to act. Financially, it points to a business that has perhaps reached an impasse and that serious decisions as to its future need to be made carefully. On a personal level, this card denotes someone with a lack of self-esteem, dejection, and the wrong use of their mind. Now, this could even be you. You're not thinking straight. Okay. The message is whomever this person is. Oh, wrong card. Yeah. Whomever this person is, you need to be wary of them. It also indicates someone is not able to think straight and therefore cannot cope with outside circumstances. Now, it also warns of promises that will not be kept and trouble in a relationship. Again, usually one partner has fallen out of love with the other, or is seeing someone else, or is taking advantage of the other person in some calculating way. Okay? I feel that the reason why this has shown up is because this is already something that you suspect. And I've seen this card show up sometimes when people are like lurking around online trying to find stuff about people. Well, you know, sometimes you need to do that. Okay, to keep yourself safe. So I don't quite know about that. You seem to be in a really good position right now, you know, where you are. And I would really hate for you to be somebody perpetrate a fraud on you because you're just not paying attention. Okay? I think you already have an inkling that something's not right. Trust that. Because another meaning of this card is to be foolish. Somebody pretending to be whom they're not. They don't know whatever it is. They're representing themselves some kind of way, and they don't know anything what they're talking about. Okay? I told you I was going to read you this strength card because this idea, I just get the feeling that someone's trying to coerce you, and by coerce I mean they're like, you know, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. You know, I need you to get this back, and that's the kind of energy that's coming across with that 8, with this strength card. And so the key words, and that would be a reverse energy, and it would be helplessness, imbalance, temptations, weakness, manipulation, abuse of power, discord, disgrace, a lack of faith, and a lack of willpower. It can tell of someone with an overbearing and domineering attitude who may be upsetting proceedings. The presence of this card reverse suggests that disharmony has resulted from an abuse of power, which can leave others feeling resentful and bitter. Okay? So I really want you to watch out for that. It says that you may be afraid that your plans will meet opposition, and that little will be done to solve your problem. You know, well, you have your own personal power, and if you really are the lady who's got all her stuff together, you've come this far, you can continue. Look at that as a blip in the road. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to swat people like mosquitoes and just get them out of your way. Now, I want you to go ahead and formulate a question for the Sibilis Oraculum. As I say, they've been performing extremely well. So our core issue, either someone is lying or you are not thinking straight. In which case, they're still lying to you. Okay? They have it in for you in some way. I think it's because you are this lady. And it could be like they picked you out. You should watch that. I don't know if it's on Prime Video. It's called The Tinder Swindler. You should watch that. That was one of the most interesting things I had ever seen. I was like, oh my God. And then this guy was completely like this. He was a nutcase. Okay. So here we go. Submission. I don't know if you can see that. And that's the only thing I hate about these cards is that they're so faded. It is hard to look at them. So this is an action card, the submission card. And let me explain to you how the action cards work. The action cards, and there's 2 sets. There's a red set of action cards and a blue set. And this is an action blue. The action cards is the advice that the Oracle wants to give you about what to do next, immediately, in relation to your question. Okay? The blue cards, this is an action blue, relates to your internal state of mind, the internal state of mind that you should foster in relation to this question. Okay? Or this situation. What do I do? What do I do? Submission. I think it is page 121. A knee bent voluntarily is not broken. Yield to whatever you consider to be the superior force or forces over the matter in question. This will not be an act of weakness, but one of strength. What I take that to mean is that you might have to play along for a little bit just to really get a good bead on whatever that is. It's not going to imply any weakness if that's what you need to do. But again, I feel like however this ends, it's almost like I said, the past rushing in to meet the present. You're going to have to go back and address this situation. You're going to have to. Those 5 swords, that dispute, that argument, that fight, you're going to have to go back and address it. Okay? And that might be what the cards are telling you to submit to, the fact that, you know what, I just got to deal with it instead of trying to run away. Because sometimes this is a card where that says that people sometimes try to run away from things instead of facing it head on. Remember, I said that. So this is what I have for you, elemental air signs. This is what I have for you. So I hope that message helped for March. And until next time, again, you can click on the eye over here that's going to pop up, and that'll take you directly over to the website. So until next time, be well, stay safe. Namaste.